Welcome to another edition of Global Astronomy Month here at Astronomers Without Borders. I'm your host, Andrew Fazakis, the communications manager here at Astronomers Without Borders. And boy, we've had a lot of fun all month long with this amazing global festival of the night sky where we really share in the wonders of the universe. Hey, and by the way, wherever you're watching from, we'd love to hear from you. Put it in the comment section. We'd love to see where we have all our friends around the world joining us. We've had such a busy month. We, of course, right at the top of the month, we had our solar eclipse, which was incredible. Here in North America, we had so many friends coming over from all over the world to see one of the most amazing wonders of the sky, which is, of course, the eclipse of the sun, the total eclipse of the sun. We've had many members of the AWB family from around the world coming over. Some of our national coordinators made it over the pond as well, which was fantastic. And boy, oh boy, what amazing images we've had our pleasure to be able to see what they've been taking, all these folks that witnessed this amazing spectacle. And of course, here at Astronomers Without Borders, we've been busy collecting gently used glasses, unused eclipse glasses we're talking about. This is probably one of the most viral, most successful astronomy outreach with the public in North America ever attempted. We've been collecting literally hundreds of thousands of glasses so far that are being donated generously by folks like you across North America, both Canada and US. We currently have, believe it or not, we have, I think, about 400 to 500 collection centers, and it's growing. And these are libraries, planetariums, school districts. There are all kinds of folks out there and organizations that have stepped up and want to share in the generosity of what the eclipse is with underserved communities around the world. And that's what AWB is going to be doing, is sharing these glasses, vetting them, making sure they're safe, repackaging them, and then sending them around the world for future eclipses and just uses by teachers. In fact, we're already sending our first package of over 2,000 glasses that are going to be going to Kosovo to being used in astronomy camps for teens, which is really exciting. And you'll be able to find out more information about that on our Facebook page and also on our website, astronomerswithoutborders.org. Now, let's get to the fun stuff today. So, when we talk about astronomy, we talk about this journey of learning the night sky. The hobby of astronomy is something, as an educator myself, who's been in the business of sharing my passion of the night sky, I've never seen it so popular as it is today. People everywhere are just enamored with exploring their night sky, whether it's out in the countryside while they're camping, or perhaps from their front doorstep, looking up, walking the dog, seeing things, getting interested in astronomy. And there's a journey in the hobby of astronomy. There's a natural progression in the field. And that is, of course, learning the night sky, using your eyes, learning about constellations, learning how to navigate star hop every season, maybe spending a few minutes, maybe 10, 20 minutes outside every week or so and learning a little bit about it. But that's when you catch that astronomy bug. That's when you get interested in it and you want to pursue it further. And that's where different optical instruments come into play. And of course, we're talking about telescopes. And here at AWB, we're really fortunate because we have one of the premier telescopes that exist in the world for beginners. It's called the OneSky, and it's been generously allocated by Celestron, the world's premier manufacturer of telescopes, exclusively made for AWB, so that we can use it as a fundraiser to help us support all our outreach efforts, our STEM education programs around the world. It's thanks to the sales of this telescope that allows us to do good in the world using astronomy, and at the same time provide a really quality instrument for beginners, for families, for kids. It's a really great entry point into learning how telescopes work and how to explore the night sky with telescopes. Now, with that said, they're, using telescopes, even something as simple as the OneSky, like I have one right behind me right here. This can be a daunting affair. It can be something that is something that folks may find a little bit difficult. Some challenges involved in setting up your telescope, how to use the telescope, understanding the accessories, where they go, how to use them proficiently. So there is a learning curve that's associated with it. And what I think is so cool today is that we're unveiling this really neat assistant, I guess you could call it, an educational tool, a technological tool that is going to help do what? Guess what, guys? Break down borders. That's what AWB is all about. And this is something, again, that's going to help us do that in learning how to use a telescope for the first time. And in this case, we're using that on the OneSky. So today I've got a very special guest joining us. He is a tech education pioneer. His name is Kitt Hirasaki, and he's a co-founder actually at SnapInstruct, and develops and designs basically through software and all kinds of educational tools, particularly using AI, artificial intelligence. We've all heard about it. It's the big buzzword out there, and it's all about putting it to good use. And I can't think of even a better use in astronomy than letting people, get access to telescopes. And I'm going to have Kitt join me right now. I don't want to waste any more time because this is so exciting. Hey, Kitt, welcome.
Andrew, thank you so much. Great to be
Yeah, I
here.
mean, thank you so much for coming on with us. I'm just like buzzing with excitement because I'm really into breaking down these borders that involve an entry point into learning the night sky. Telescopes are so popular everywhere, um, but there are challenges, and I know you have a One Sky that you're new to it as well. You've got a family, and you're now helping us through SnapInstruct, your company, in allowing more access to the night sky with the OneSky. Please, first off, tell us a little bit about yourself and how we got here with AWB.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I've been working in education technology for a little over the past decade or so. I was one of the first people working at Khan Academy back in the day. And there I actually had the benefit of designing the official SAT practice for Khan Academy. So some people, your listeners may have benefited, or maybe their kids, entirely free. Over half of people who study for the SAT use that. And I was really brought to education because uh, I people have dreams and goals, and they want to do things, and being able to break down those barriers, be they borders or learning or whatever it is, has really been a mission of mine. And so I'm really excited with the advent of AI, recognizing that we had this amazing opportunity to extend to enable people to learn and to do things on their own in a way that had never been possible before. And so that's when we created SnapInstruct, and we're really excited to be working with AWB to, yeah, open up astronomy to anyone who's interested. Remove those hurdles.
Absolutely, and maybe people aren't familiar with what artificial intelligence is really, and what what its role is in here in this project that we're talking about. Maybe you can explain a little bit about that, and so that there's no misunderstanding, or what is it really that we're talking about.
Sure. Well, artificial intelligence covers a lot of things beyond what we're really leveraging it for. But the thing that's got all the hype in the past year or so has been started by ChatGPT. So what are known as large language models, which are AIs that are trained specifically on English or any language actually, but on communicating like a human. And what this has opened up, the kind of possibilities this has opened up, is it used to be if you had a question about something, um, you you couldn't just like ask for an answer. You'd have to find the information somewhere. But now with large language models, it's possible to just ask your question and get an answer, just like talking to an expert. So, with as someone who's getting started, right, with using a telescope, there can be a lot of little questions that come up, like, oh, well, like, is there a piece missing? Or bigger questions like, well, how does this magnification work? Or, what are the different concepts I'm dealing with? And so now you have this on-demand answers that understand what's in you can explain exactly like you're talking to another person, what your confusion is, and they can help you out.
Well, there you go. And and getting back to what I was saying is part of I think the barrier there in learning is that it can be daunting for someone who maybe isn't tech savvy, perhaps unfamiliar with what a telescope is like, how they function. And and I've heard, I mean, I know personally, like it can be even a little bit embarrassing. You don't want to, like, if you have your kids with you or something and you're trying to put it together, a telescope, you want to look like you know what you're doing, or at least be able to find the information that you need to be able to put it together, because that can be, when you're really, when you get that telescope, it's pretty exciting, right? And you want to be able to get into it as fast as possible. You want to do it the right way. So, Kitt, maybe we can show what we're talking about here and how we're applying this AI assistance to the OneSky.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll maybe say right before we jump in there, some of the key things I think this really can unlock. You were saying, this is private. It's like having your own little personal private coach. It's not even another person that you can get for help. And if you're giving this, let's say, as a gift to someone, maybe you're an astronomy fan, but you have a niece or nephew or grandchild who you want to share this with, but you're not close to them, or maybe you aren't an astronomy fan or expert, but you know that they are, and you want to be able to give this gift to them, but not have them be sort of confused or not know how to use it. That's where the coach comes in. It's right there for them. So any questions they have, they've got an expert there, their own little private expert there, right with them.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of this. And it works, my understanding is from the person's phone, smartphone.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. And let me take you through. I'll share my screen a little bit and show you how this works. So this is a little video from my screen. So the way it works is that once you get the setup assistant, you just go to a little web page. You get a link for, put in your phone number, and then it's going to start sending you a text message or text messages where you can communicate with it. And over these text messages, it walks you through the specific steps to set up your OneSky. It also includes images and GIFs, and on top of it, you can also ask your AI coach for help. So here I'm sort of just going through here. This is the first step, setting up our telescope and making sure we've got everything there. So this is all uh, tuned and scripted just to be as clear and sort of easy to process as possible. Now, at any time, if you have some issue, like let's say I unpack the telescope tube, but it looks like it's scratched, I can just tell the coach and it give me advice. What should I do? Oh, if you notice scratches, hey, take a picture, email it to our team at products at Astronomers Without Borders, and we'll help you. Jumping ahead a little, we also have all these GIFs to help you because sometimes like using a PDF to navigate weird pictures with diagrams, pretty hard to know what's going on. But with these easy GIFs, it's able to see, okay, cool. Here's exactly the stuff I need to do to put this in place, or how the things fit together. Um, and then here we're setting up the eyepiece for the OneSky, and you could have questions not just about the setup mechanics, but you can ask about the telescope, or even questions like, okay, well, like what's the difference between these two eyepieces? One is 10 millimeter, and one's 25 millimeter. Like, what am I really doing here? And because the AI coach is trained on all of the information about the OneSky and astronomy basics, it's able to answer this question for you. 10 millimeter is for higher magnification, 25 millimeters for lower, gives you a wider field of view. And often you want to start with the 25 millimeter when you're trying to spot things in the sky, and then you can switch to a 10 to get closer. And then just quickly, this last piece here is we've got not just the setup guide, which you see sort of like item 4 of 5 here. So we have the setup guide, which walks you again, little step-by-step pieces. If you need help along the way, it's right there for you. We also have separate guides. So once you're set up and ready to go, and observe, or I'll start at the top, an alignment guide. This is for later, but it's to help with collimation, which is aligning the mirrors if that gets out of an alignment. Observing guide, just helps you with your setup time to observe and think about all the things go into that. Pointing your telescope just around azimuth and altitude and tips there, and then also storing. So storing and cleaning your telescope. So And at any point outside of here, or again within the guide, you can talk to your AI coach and ask for help or advice to understand things.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, this it can't get any simpler than that. And
Yeah,
it's
that's the goal, to make it as easy as possible. And having that, I've usually when the telescope comes, of course, with like a PDF guide of how to set it up and everything, but it's it's a lot trickier than it's not always trivial to figure out what's going on with that. And often, if you might search for okay, I'll search YouTube and it'll have some guide to set up. You know, part of the challenge there is you don't necessarily get you kind of got to start filtering through a bunch of videos like, oh, okay, well, like exactly where in this video do I want this? Do I want to watch the whole video? Which of these should I check out? With your AI coach, you just ask a specific question and it's helping you right there. And like these setup gifs are all super dialed in for exactly what the kind of help you might need in getting set up.
yeah, this is fantastic, and I can see potential for the future too, in learning more about the telescope and usage of the telescope under the stars, of being able to I mean, the possibilities are endless, and where this can be taken. And my understanding is that there is going to be new content being
That's
added as we go along, right?
Yeah, yeah. So the next thing we have coming out after the setup guide is going to be an astrophotography guide. So we have an astrophotography expert who's putting that together. That'll be really cool. How to get started with astrophotography and your OneSky. And then we're also looking at creating and perhaps partnering with a membership for AWB, like a 12 months of observing. So you will get specific guides for each major astronomical event. So as it happens, you've got a guide for when it's happening and exactly the best way to observe and tips you might want to really make that a great experience.
So it's like having a professional guide right there by your side, basically
Yeah,
helping you.
really, we're calling it a coach. It's there to help you get better and also, yeah, develop the skills and knowledge to really become a independent and being able to do it on your own. But it's always there for you, so you're effectively never really alone.
No, and but you still keep your independence. You get to do it at
Absolutely.
your own pace, right? You don't
Mhm.
have to fumble through any kind of book, any guidebook. It's literally just asking the questions that you really want answers for, and they come back almost instantly. It's just incredible. I love it. And Kit, I gotta say, I mean, we've talked before, and you mentioned that you recently just got a OneSky, right?
Mhm. That's right.
And yeah, so what's your experience with that?
Well, it's great. I mean, as I was working on the team that was putting the course guide together, so having a OneSky and understanding how it works and everything was pretty critical for that. It was great. I was able to set it up, and it was fun. I was even just doing it in my backyard, doing my first observing here,
Yeah.
and little things came up like, okay, yeah, I really got to turn out the lights in my house. So sorry, everybody. Like lights are lights are going off.
Right.
I can't really see too well. And then was able to get I got a couple teenagers, get them come out like, okay, hey, come check
Okay.
this out. This is pretty cool. I found Orion's belt over here. Let's take a look.
Y-
And
Did that
Yeah,
impress them? Did you get to impress them at all with
they
that?
thought it was cool. Actually, I think this was their first time. This is my first time owning a telescope as an adult. I think I had a little one when I was a kid, but my kids hadn't ever used a telescope before. So they thought that that was cool for them, and they were also like, oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of cold. I'm gonna go back on YouTube inside, Dad. So thanks. So
That was it, right? That was
that's it for now. But yeah, this
That's
is
still
not
a
about
win. That's
it's
still a
yeah,
win.
that's true. It's still a win, but it's about giving people the opportunity and making it easy, especially for those who are excited to really jump in and get a great experience. So
Yeah, I mean, I think your perspective is very interesting because you're an educator.
right.
You're in the business of distilling subject matter so that they're palatable, digestible, interesting. And I guess this was something new for you, right? Working with a telescope, working in the field of astronomy, right?
That's right. Yeah, I'm not a I'm not a professional astronomer or anything like that. And so I think what's helpful is because we're also, at SnapInstruct, we're also coming to astronomy with a beginner's mind, right? Like, what are people who are just getting started? What are the things that might confuse them that confused us, right? Or what are the places that might be the stumbling blocks? It's cool when, I mean, it's wonderful, of course, to develop expertise in a field, but it can be hard sometimes to explain to a person who's just getting started because you have so much state in your mind that it's hard to translate sometimes. I think about some of my classes from school where you might have like a Nobel Prize mathematician teaching you, but you actually need the grad student to explain like what's actually going on.
Then you go,
Um,
aha.
and you're like, "Oh, okay, I get it. That makes okay, okay. Why didn't you just say that?"
Right,
And
right.
so, yeah, so I get to be your or SnapInstruct gets to be your grad student. That's much closer to the material and is really there to guide you and support you as you go. So, yeah, it's fun to really be able to distill and try to make things as clear and easy to use as possible.
I think so. I mean, and the OneSky is considered a beginner scope, a family friendly telescope, and
Yep.
it's something that we've sold at AWE. We've had it for now a decade at least, and we've sold thousands and thousands across the United States. And still one of the bestseller ones, very popular. But it's also popular as a gift,
Yep.
you know and I think that's something, you had alluded to that before,
Sure.
is wanting to really make sure that it's the gift that you're giving is going to be of use. You know how to use it, and it's not you're breaking down that border of it being intimidating. It's something to really think about if you're doing it as a gift, right? If it's a gift giving opportunity.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you've got I certainly kids are probably a lot better at texting than I am, or my kids are certainly more adept than I am. So it's not going to be any stranger to them. So very reasonable that middle school or older elementary school kids even could use a setup assistant to go step by step through things, and then as they run into questions, they can ask. I've worked a lot in K-12 education, and it's yeah, I'm really breaking things down into these small bites for people, and also taking away. You mentioned this before, the sort of, oh, I'm not sure how to do this. Very often, all of us, or it's a very human kind of thing, come to things with, oh, I'm a little afraid. I don't want to mess it up, or I don't want to do it wrong. And then, what if I get stuck? There's a lot of anxiety that can come up around things. Anytime you're doing something new, right? There can be some kind of anxiety of, oh, I don't know how this is going to go. So, but by having this coach there right with you, that anxiety can really, you can subside or go away because you're not like, oh, am I going to mess this up? Or will I just get stuck or not know what to do? It's there to help you through. So even for kids to get started, or kids or anyone, doesn't have to be kids, anyone to get started. You just give your number to the coach and it starts taking you right through.
Yeah, it's really I'm thinking about how powerful this can be in really accelerating the that process of getting out under the stars with your brand new telescope and getting to use it,
Yeah.
and because you need that success, you need to feel that success. If you're fumbling and you don't know how to set up your finder scope, you're not sure how your eyepieces work, or how it works on the cradle, the telescope, how to set it up. I mean, any of these things, the truss tube system.
Mm.
If you're not familiar with a telescope, this kind of a tool can really accelerate that to another level, I think, in and feeling that, and making sure that you have that feeling of success, like, and you go like, I could think I can go in the next step,
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And another thing we're looking forward with the coach and especially the AWM membership is uh, it's not just a one way street, right? The coach can even let you know, hey, there's a cool astronomical event happening in a couple days. Here's a guide you can use to go check it out or make a plan, right, for doing that. So often. it's difficult. People have a hobby or an interest, but sometimes if it's not super regular, it can be, it's hard. You don't necessarily make it into a habit, right? But by having your AI coach there, it can give you a heads up. Like, hey, you should really go check this out. It's a cool opportunity.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's it. That's it makes sense. And with that said, it may not be for everyone. Some people don't need that,
Sure.
but I mean, it's amazing to have a tool like this available, and especially if you're giving this telescope to somebody who is a rank beginner who has
Yeah.
no experience. This could be the world of difference for them in making it a successful and a happy experience. So I think this is amazing. Kit, thank you so much for doing this for us, working
Oh
with
yeah.
AWB, because I think this is going to bring the OneSky experience to a new level. It's going to open up the doors to so many more people to explore the night sky. This telescope is already a very friendly telescope. It's very kid friendly. There's no gadgets, no gizmos on it. It's very simple to use. But now with this AI coach, you can go ahead and ask any question. Don't be afraid. It's there. You have your personal assistant right there with you. And you guys at SnapInstruct, this is going to be so cool. And then the add-ons that are possible to it, all the
Hmm.
like you mentioned, astrophotography. Wow, that I think people are gonna love it.
Yeah. No, we're really excited, and it's we're really excited also to be able to reach so many people through Astronomers Without Borders who are really excited about astronomy and making it as easy as possible for them to get started.
So when can people get access to this? How soon are we talking about?
Yeah, yeah, it's coming out May 6th, so just next week if you're watching this live. So it'll be out following weekend. If you're watching this recorded, it's probably already out.
Absolutely. And so let me just share with folks. Here is the website for this is the astronomerswithoutborders.org, our shop store page. There's links all over on the front page. You could just easily find it. I'll put this into the comments right away. Let me put this in there. And people can go and visit the page now. Bookmark this. If you're watching this live, bookmark this page. This is where the AI coach package will be available on the OneSky page. Already we have a great booklet that talks about sky targets, whet your appetite on what you can do with the OneSky. But this is where this new tool education tool will be listed, and we're going to have this as a great, like Kit mentioned, a membership option as well in the package. And there's going to be so many cool things that we'll be able to do with this kit. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Cool.
Kit, thanks so much for stopping by and sharing these great news.
Yeah, thanks for having me in for Astronomy Month. So yeah, it's been
Absolutely.
great.
Absolutely. Thank you. So here we go, guys. Thanks so much for joining us for Global Astronomy Month and this special presentation about the OneSky AI coach that we're going to be making available, making it ultra simple to set up your telescope. And remember, by purchasing a OneSky, you're supporting our international outreach programs around the world. Each sales directly support our program. And we want to thank our big sponsors, Celestron, for making this exclusive telescope, the OneSky, such a popular item for us, and something that allows us to do the good work we do around the world. Again, all that information that we talked about with the AI coach for the OneSky will be available on our website. Make sure you check us out, astronomerswithoutborders.org. That's the end of Global Astronomy, folks. This is the 15th edition of GAM. And it was fantastic. Thanks so much for everyone who participated, all of you guys who are here to watch our program, joining in, commenting. We love to hear from all of you. Thanks so much. Stay safe and healthy. And until the next video, remember our motto, one people, one sky. Bye-bye.
From the pale blue dot to the distant stars, we are one. One people, one sky.